to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about the 2023 gubernatorial elections. So in 2023, there are 0 Senate elections, likely 0 congressional elections, that is, unless there is, a surprise death, which would be unfortunate, of a congressperson. No Senate elections, of course. But there are 3 gubernatorial elections taking place in the South, and these, just like 2021, that really showed us a lot how the country felt about Joe Biden. The fact that Virginia elected a Republican as their governor. The fact that in 2021, New Jersey almost elected a Republican governor. Just shows you how in 2021 the country felt about Joe Biden and the Democrats. So 2023 will have that same effect. It's going to test the popularity of Joe Biden and the Democrats after the midterms with, Democrats, what I'm trying to say is in 2023, if the Virginia and New Jersey elections were held again, it would likely go to the Democrats in higher margins. So we have Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana. 3 southern states will possibly elect new governors or re-elect their governors, that being in one state, Kentucky. So we're going to be focusing, obviously, on Kentucky a bit more than Louisiana and Mississippi, but let's just start off with Mississippi. So Mississippi should be solid red, right? It went to Trump by a solid margin in 2020. I don't know the exact percentage. However, the incumbent Republican governor, Tate Reeves, who is likely going to run for a second term, is extremely unpopular in Mississippi, even though it is such a partisan state and he is a Republican. He is extremely unpopular. If you remember, there was a water crisis in Mississippi where there wasn't even any clean water to drink for a long period of time. And people thought that Tate Reeves handled the situation very badly. Like, he did not have the leadership that was needed during that time in his state. So even a lot of Republicans aren't really happy with Tate Reeves as their governor, and a lot of them would like a new governor. However, we know that with the establishment, still controlling elections, Tate Reeves, a potential candidate at this point, is likely to run again. And if he does run again, then he is almost certainly going to be the nominee. See, look at all these Republican candidates challenging an incumbent governor. That does not happen often, where 1, 2, 3, 4 notable candidates are, thinking about running, including the Secretary of State, the Speaker of the Mississippi House of Representatives, the Attorney General, all these Chief Justice in the state court, all these big names coming out and thinking about challenging Tate Reeves because of how unpopular he is. Now, it's not necessarily about how good the Democrats will do, it's about how bad Tate Reeves will do for his re-election campaign. I do believe that Tate Reeves will win once again, but looking at 2019, Tate Reeves won his first term. And in 2019, this was held with the Louisiana and Kentucky gubernatorial elections, both of which voted in Democrats. Louisiana re-elected their Democrat, Kentucky elected a Democratic governor, and Mississippi almost elected a Democratic governor, Jim Hood. Now, this was in large part due to Donald Trump being so unpopular. But then again, Donald Trump carried the state of Mississippi by a solid margin in 2023. So, if Tate Reeves only won by 5% in 2019, in 2023, with him being in office for a term, with him being so unpopular now among the Mississippi residents, in 2019, Trump was the unpopular one, and he brought down Tate Reeves. But in 2023, Tate Reeves is the unpopular one, and he is bringing down himself, and that will have a larger impact on his campaign. I do see Tate Reeves winning again, but I do believe that it will be a lean margin for Tate Reeves. Probably a 4 or 5 point win, just as it was in 2019. So now let's move on to the state of Louisiana. So we do have a gubernatorial election in Louisiana, and what's interesting about Louisiana is that it is so Republican, right? Such a Republican state. However, the state of Louisiana does have an incumbent governor, John Bel Edwards, who is a Democrat. However, he, under the Louisiana Constitution, cannot seek a third term, so he will be forced to step down after 2 terms, and he will never be governor again. So John Bel Edwards, being the governor of Louisiana, being a Democrat, will sure get a few Democratic votes. But if we're really looking at it, unless we have someone like Mitch Landrieu as the nominee, and I don't think he would be the guy that Democrats nominate, I just don't think that he's very much interested. I think that Jeff Landrieu is going to be the guy, the Attorney General. I mean, he's the only big name that's in it so far. I know we do have a lot of time to go. I'm thinking that this is a safe Republican state. I don't see this as one that's very competitive in 2023 with a president that's not like extremely popular. It's not like we have a JFK in office. He's just not popular enough to have that impact in Louisiana. I think that's going to be a safe Republican state. And finally, we have the big one, the state of Kentucky. So in 2019, Kentucky elected Andy Beshear as their governor. Now, Beshear only won because of 3 things. Matt Bevin was the incumbent and extremely unpopular, just as Tate Reeves is, I mind you. So looking at those comparisons, maybe the Democrats have a shot of picking up Mississippi. But Matt Bevin was so unpopular. Donald Trump was so unpopular, even in Kentucky it had an impact. And Andy Beshear was, number one, a strong candidate, but more so because of his name. The Beshear name is a very much a known name in Kentucky politics. His father was the former governor of Kentucky. And plus, Andy Beshear was the Attorney General to begin with. So there were a lot of factors that allowed Andy Beshear to win by his 0.4% margin. But a lot of things have changed since then, and it's a question of, can he win without those factors? Number 1, Matt Bevin is not in office anymore. Number 2, Donald Trump is not in office anymore. Oh, I guess you can say the third factor is even stronger, saying that Beshear is now governor and now he has more name recognition. But for a re-election campaign, that does not matter much. So it's going to be a challenge for Beshear to hang on. On the Republican side, Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General, the office that Beshear held, is going to almost certainly be the Republican nominee. He is Trump endorsed. I know that means less now after these midterm elections, as Trump's popularity has gone far down. But he has received, the support from most Kentucky Republicans, and he is on track to be the nominee. So Daniel Cameron, I think, is an exceptional candidate. I think that he would pose a very much threat to Andy Beshear come the general election in 2023. And this one, I'm telling you, it's going to be very, very close. And I mean, I would feel like kind of dumb even making a prediction, but I have to because I never leave any states as toss-up. And I know Savannah Maddox, is she related to George Maddox? I hope not. Yeah, far-right members. Anyway, sorry, unrelated. So Kentucky is just so hard to characterize at this point because they're, wow, oh my god, look at all these declared candidates. Just because there are so many factors that could give Beshear an edge or Cameron an edge. And at this point, I'm thinking that Trump being in office was extremely important to Beshear's win. I think that encouraged the independent turnout enough, as Beshear was more of a moderate voice, and he still is. And I think that was encouraging people to vote. enough to give Bashir the edge in 2019. So looking at 2023, I am going to give the state of Kentucky to Daniel Cameron. I think that he will become the state of Kentucky's next governor. Definitely a tilt march, and I think that there will be recounts, okay, in Kentucky. That's how close I think this will be. I think it will be insanely close. But I think that Trump being in office was such a big factor, more than anything else, and that Biden being in office now would help Daniel Cameron, especially saying that it's a Republican state and Joe Biden is unpopular in Kentucky. So, Republicans pick up 2 seats, hold on to 1. That gives them 3 seats in the 2023 gubernatorial elections. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would mean the world to me. But again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.